What's up, everybody? Justin Barnes here with Alphawash, and I just want to take a minute and show you our rig we got here. We built this rig about a year and a half ago. It's been awesome to us. I guess you can see we just recently did the rebrand to Alphawash. We're formerly known as Central Alabama Pressure Washing, but our long-term goal is to build the company into a franchise that we can fully systematize and sell to other entrepreneurs across the country. So let's get into it. I want to show you the rig. I want to start with the trailer here. All right, let's start up here at the front of the trailer. It's where we keep our machines at. So here we've got a 5 gallon per minute. And that's a belt drive machine. I believe it's about 3,000 PSI. Might be 3,500, not exactly sure. But what we mainly use that for is downstreaming when doing house washes. We like downstreaming with a 5 gallon per minute because you get a little bit stronger mix of bleach compared to the 8 gallon per minute. And we can downstream with 8 gallon per minute, but we usually just do rinsing with it, and also like surface cleaning and stuff like that. It rinses a little quicker. We can use a bigger surface cleaner on it. So right here we got the 8 gallon per minute, and it's 3,000 PSI belt drive. And I guess you noticed that it's got a burner on it. And the main reason we have a burner is because we do some commercial work. And anytime you're doing commercial work, like at restaurants, for example, we've got some fast food restaurants that we clean their dumpster pad and their sidewalks and stuff like that once a month. And they'll have a lot of grease build up on them. And grease melts at 160 degrees. So you definitely want to have that hot water in there. You're going to have a lot better finished result. All right. So this box right here that you see on front of this thing, it's had a long life. It's had an interesting story. So when I was like, I don't know, probably 13 years old, I had a duck boat. I love duck hunting. And actually a buddy of mine built this for me, and this was a gun box to go in the duck boat so we could put our guns in there. We could throw our blind bags in there, maybe a couple decoys, something like that. It was originally painted camouflage, and sold the duck boat, kind of got out of duck hunting, kept the box though. Actually, it fit perfect on the front of this trailer, so I was like, heck yeah, let's put it on there. And I'll show y'all what we keep in here. All right, so as far as this front box goes, it's kind of probably a mess right now, so y'all just be prepared. So, we got plastic in here, property protection, we got some gloves, we got a lot of tape in here, trash bags for bagging up downspouts. This is for taping doors. It's tape and plastic combined. You just run this across the top of the door, pull it down, your whole door is covered. Quicker, saves us a little bit of time. But yeah, the main thing we use this for, we got some wheel chocks in here. We got some measuring cup for our surfactant. We keep some gypsum pellets in here just in case some grass gets burned. You can get this stuff on Amazon. It's called garden gypsum, and if you ever burn anything with any bleach, that can be your best friend. We also keep Pam in here, cooking spray, and what we keep that in here for is actually to if you've ever been washing a house and you've had some door handles kind of get some spots on them, maybe kind of take the color out of them, you can polish them back up with that cooking oil and save you some money from having to replace a door handle. And this is some more plastic and tape combined, and this is just used for doors, especially when you're pressure washing wooden doors. You want to be careful getting chemicals on those. WD-40 obviously, because everything likes to rust. We keep a few rags in here, lots of tape. So yeah, that's pretty much it, mainly property protection. We got our downstream ejector set up on the 5, and it goes right here to a 26 gallon tank. And on this 26 gallon tank, we don't use very much surfactant at all, because when you're washing a house, surfactant pretty much just kind of slows down the rinsing process. So we use very little surfactant in this tank. And we've got a 100 gallon tank here, and the 100 gallon tank is what we use with our soft wash system. And then we got a 200 gallon tank there in the middle. We got our return lines from our pressure washers coming back to right there, so when we're not on the trigger, it's spraying water back into the tank, keeping our pump from getting too hot. All right, and then behind it, we've got another 26-gallon tank, and we don't use it very often. All right, so the 26-gallon tank in the back, we don't use it very often. The only time we use it is if we're doing commercial work, a good bit of commercial work, and we want to put some degreaser in the tank. And what we can do is take our soft wash or our downstream, and we could stick it in that tank and spray out some degreaser and kind of speed up our process a little quicker than doing it out of a pump-up sprayer. So yeah, that's pretty much all that back tank's for. So total, we got 4 tanks on the trailer. Mainly just use 3 of them. All right, so the next thing you'll see here is our soft wash system. And we just recently got this compressor, maybe about a month ago, something like that. And it definitely seems to be an awesome machine. Ingersoll Rand, don't know the exact specs on it. I'm not big into air compressors, but it's got a Honda GX 160 on it. And so pretty much we got our flow jet pump right here. It is a 10 gallon per minute. I think it can run up to 100 PSI. We've went through, I think, 2 of these pumps in the last 3 years, so I think they're like $250, something like that, so not too bad. And you got an air water separator here. Proportioner is a little different than most proportioners you see. So on the left side of it, we've just got a regular ball valve. This is not a proportioning valve, it's a regular heavy-duty ball valve. And that's on our water side. So we always keep the water all the way open. So there's really we just kind of figured out that there was really no point in having a proportioning valve on the water side because we're always keeping it open. So we went with this, hadn't had any problems, seems to be working fine. And on this side, we put the GF valve. I can't remember the name of them, but the black and white valves, the bleach valves, we went through several of those things. Those things crack really bad, and then they cause air to start sucking from your soft wash system. And then in the middle, we've got a plug. We don't run a separate proportioning dial for surfactant. We mix our surfactant in with our bleach tanks. And like I was telling you earlier, the 26-gallon tank is usually very light surfactant in there because it slows you down when you're house washing. And in the big 100-gallon tank, we'll typically put more surfactant in there because typically we're doing roofs out of that. That's kind of our specialty, is house and roof washing. So you want a little bit more surfactant when you're washing roofs because you don't want that stuff running out in the yard and burning up people's plants and people's grass and things like that. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is we keep a second box back here on the back, and that's bolted down to the floor. And what we keep in here is nothing but tarps. We got a ton of tarps in here. And you might ask, why would a pressure washing guy have a bunch of tarps? I'll tell you. These are just your basic tarps. We got some blue ones and we got some brown ones. But what these are for is covering plants, covering decks. You don't want that bleach getting on stuff and damaging it. So take a little extra time before you start washing. Take you some, get you some of these, get you some, whatever color you want, cover that stuff up. It's gonna save you a lot of headache in the long run. And I have learned that the hard way, trust me on that. When in doubt, cover it up. That's what I always tell our guys, that's what we always do. The success for every job is normally found in the preparation when you get there. If you fail to prepare, you're typically gonna fail to succeed. So here's the other side of the trailer. So these 2 back hose rails right here, 2 with the flex seal of the green hose, those are both water lines. So both of them are going to the 200-gallon tank, and we've got 2 float valves mounted in the top of the tank. And what the float valve does is it keeps the tank from overflowing. Once it fills up, it doesn't flow anymore. The float floats up, the water stops pumping. So, and you might ask, why do we have 2? So we ran into this problem a lot. We get to a house, low water pressure, and we end up sitting there waiting on the water to fill up the whole job. And it turns a 30-minute, 1-hour job into a 3-hour, 4-hour job. And y'all already know time is money. So we put 2 on there, and that definitely seems to have solved our problem. We first originally had 2 soft wash reels hooked up, but typically when we're running the soft wash, the other person's rinsing, especially when doing roofs. We always have somebody rinsing because we want to be careful and we don't want to be burning people's plants. So we really didn't see a need for 2 soft washes because we rarely ever use 2 soft wash systems at one time. So we went with a 2 3/4 inch Flexzilla, and the 3/4 inch is definitely an improvement as well. I know I started out with 5/8 inch hose, and the 5/8 inch hose just does not get the same amount of flow as the 3/4 inch hose. You get you some 3/4 inch Flexzilla, a couple float valves, and you're gonna be set. I mean, most of the time we can get away with 1, but when we do get to that job site and the water's low, having these 2 is just like amazing. It's awesome. So I want to take y'all and show y'all what I did down here on the bottom. So what I did down here on the bottom on this hose reel, so obviously you take this hose and you take it to your water supply in the house. So that's feeding water into the trailer. So I've got it set up to where the water comes from here through the hose reel down to here. And I got these 2 dials right here. One of them goes to the 200-gallon tank, and one of them goes to the back tank, the 26-gallon tank. And what this is for is if we want to mix up some degreaser and water, we can just go ahead and put our water in right here, block this one off for a minute. Or the tab broke off here, but this was a good hand washing spot right here. You could get some chemical in your hand, run over here, stick your hand under it, you're all good. So yeah, definitely recommend the 3/4 inch hose. If you got enough room to go with 2 of them, go with 2 of them. You won't be sorry that you did. All right, so this middle hose reel right here, that is our soft wash reel. And we got about 250 feet of 1/2 inch Flexzilla. And I already know what you guys are gonna be saying. You're gonna be like, man, why you got a 1/2 inch? You need a bigger one. You need a bigger hose, get more flow. I know that. So originally I had a 5/8 inch hose on there, and for some odd reason I thought that going down to the 1/2 inch would just make life easier because it's a little lighter. So I definitely think I'm losing a little flow with the 1/2 inch hose versus the 5/8. But I would definitely say a pro about that hose is it's a little lighter. You don't get tired lugging it around all day. And I mean, we can still get as much distance as we need to get with the 1/2 inch versus the 5/8. So not really an issue to us. So on the front 2 hose reels there, bend this over so you can see it, get out of the way. So that hose reel and that hose reel. So the back one is to the 8 gallon per minute, and the front one is to the 5 gallon per minute. And we keep about anywhere from 200 to 250 feet of hose on the pressure washer. We got ball valves on both of them, the DN10 ball valve, really awesome. And I guess you'll notice that all of our hose reels are on the right side of the trailer. And we did that strategically. We built this frame that the hose reels sit on, and we actually got a little space under it that we can put things under it. We got hoses and stuff like that ran under there. But so we got all of our hoses on this side because when we pull up to a job, 9 times out of 10, we're in a subdivision and we're gonna be parking on the curb out in front of the house. And this is set up perfect for 9 jobs out of 10. We can pull up, we can take, if we're using the soft wash, we can take the soft wash and run it all the way to the very, very back of the property so we can work our way back to the truck. Same way with the pressure washing hoses. We want to be pulling them all the way around the property so we can work our way back. Got to keep efficiency in mind. We want to be as efficient as we can be on these jobs, and that is why we fully custom built this trailer. And another thing I'm sure that everybody has been looking at is like, God, these signs are freaking gigantic. And they are humongous. And that is like the thing I was the most excited about when I built this trailer. It was like, I want something different. I want to be seen. So we put these giant signs on here, and it's all welded. It's super thick sheet metal. We got all the way down the side. It's a 16-foot trailer, so I think the signs are 16 foot long by about 4 foot tall. And also we get a sign back here on the back. Let me show it to you real quick. See our sign back here? That's the money end of it. That's the one people are taking pictures of when they're sitting in traffic and everything like that. But the one downside about these signs, especially this back one, is that it is extremely heavy, and this gate is extremely heavy. But I don't mind it. I like the signs. I like the way it stands out. I'd rather it be a little heavier and have the signs than to not have the signs and it be a little lighter. All right, so something that I didn't talk about that I feel like I should talk about is how I planned this all up and how we got everything set up like it is. So me, along with a buddy that's good at welding, built this whole trailer. So I went and bought the trailer, I think about a year and a half ago, and it was just a regular 16-foot utility trailer. And I started playing around with some measurements, so I knew all the equipment that was going on there. So I looked up online and got the dimensions of each one. So I wrote all those dimensions down. I got the dimensions of my trailer, and I actually started playing around with everything, seeing what was going to be the best way to position everything. And what I actually did, I'll see if I can attach a picture of it right here in the video, but I actually got tape and lined out the spots for each thing. And I did that for about a whole day. I'm like, I think this would be better here. I think this would be better here. So we built this support bar down on the right side for all of our hose reels to sit on, as you can see. And I really like that because we can put stuff under it. Sometimes we put poles under it. We got some hoses under it. Super heavy duty. These hose reels ain't going anywhere. And then up on top of the sign, we put our ladders up there, strap them down, and it works pretty good. So on this side, we got this little plate built right here that our soft wash system's mounted on, and none of this was here. My buddy Chris, he welded all this up for me, and it turned out great. I originally had a toolbox right here with a 12-volt pump in it, but as y'all already know, 12 volts, they bite the dust quite often, and they can be quite aggravating when you're on a job site trying to get the job done. So we got away from the 12-volt pumps and went with the air, and we definitely will never go back to another 12-volt pump. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. So plate there, plate on the other side for all the hose reels, and then right here we got a plate that our 5 gallon per minute sits on, mounts perfect. One thing that I almost thought we messed up on, but luckily we did not, is I thought we were gonna have some issues pulling this pull cord, but as you can see, it pulls fine. We pull it this way. See, we can pull it there. So yeah, that's pretty much the trailer. So y'all hang on, stay tuned, and I'm gonna show y'all what we pull it with. All right, so here she is, the famous Alphawash van. And this is a 2008 Chevy Express van. It's a 3500. I think it's got a 6.0 liter V8 in it. And I've had this for about, I think I got it in February of this year. Paid like $3,000 for it. Had like 210,000 miles on it. And 2008, like I said, so got a pretty good deal on it. And I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, man, I bet that thing has some trouble pulling this trailer. And you're right, it does. Definitely gonna want to get away from the trailers in the future, but this is what we got right now, so we're gonna rock and roll with it. We're gonna make it work. I mean, it pulls it fine. It lugs a little bit on some hills, especially if we got a lot of water in the tank. So we try to travel with lower than half water, typically no water, ideally. But sometimes when you show up to a job site with no water, it can really hurt your time when you're sitting there waiting for it to fill up. But so yeah, we just got this van February, like I said, but we actually just got it wrapped when we did our rebrand about 2 months ago. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, we were formerly known as Central Alabama Pressure Washing, and we transitioned to Alphawash because our goal is to build this company into a franchise. All right, So I want to show y'all inside of the van and show y'all what we keep in there. I really like having the van just because we can keep stuff inside of it. Not necessarily like pressure washers and stuff like that, but we can keep our stuff inside of it and it's out of the weather versus like the trailer, which typically we'll put the trailer in the shop here to keep it out of the weather, keep stuff from rusting up any worse than it already is. Here, we keep a toolbox with all of our tools that we need: screwdrivers, ratchets, wrenches, hammers, pliers, whatever we might need for anything that breaks on that trailer or this van, that we can fix it and keep on working, keep on making money. All right, so this is the inside of the van. So we keep yard signs stacked here. I'll show you one of them, what they look like. Look, another property cleaned by Alphawash. And we put these out in every customer's yard. And this is something we just recently started doing this year. And we also put these out in each customer's yard. These are yard tags. I'm sure y'all have seen them before, but they just got a little plastic stake that goes in them. I think they're 6" by 6", double-sided. So, kind of experiment with these. Definitely can't hurt. We're going to keep putting them out, keep getting the Alphawash brand out there until we get to where we want to be. Stick this back in there. But yeah, like I was telling y'all, we keep all of our wands hanging right here. We got short wands and long wands and mid-size wands. And then here, we keep 3 boxes on here, basically like toolboxes. And these have spare fittings, things for plumbing, stuff that you're going to run into issues with, like bushings, and barbs, and got some check valves in there. Keep our O-rings in there, things like that. This box saves the day more times than not, because there's always something tearing up on these. Basically the same thing. Got some ball valves in here, bushings, hose clamps, got some 3-way valves, more hose clamps, Teflon tape. Can't never have enough Teflon tape. This is the proportioning valve that I was mentioning earlier. We have not had very good luck with these proportioning valves. They love to crack, and once they crack, see, this one's actually cracked. See it? Once it's cracked, it's worthless. You're sucking air, and your soft wash ain't gonna be spraying hardly at all. So yeah. Another box right there with all of our quick connects in them. We keep 3 pump up sprayers in here. This one's always kept with bleach neutralizer in it. We got our sidewalk sign right there, QR code on it. Keep a couple jacks in here in case we have a flat. Keep a cooler in here, stay hydrated. We got a leaf blower here. We use that a lot on roofs, blowing out gutters, blowing off leaves off driveways before we clean them. We keep some brushes and some gutter tools right there. And then we've got several different chemicals here. We got surfactant and bleach neutralizer and a couple different acids. Actually got a roof harness over there. So, and this big white tube right here, this is our sludge sucker in case you're ever in an area that the water gets puddled up in. So, one last thing, we keep some 1 gallon chemical in here. This is mostly like F9 products. There's a few, I think there's some Wind Restore NMD80 in there. We got some oxalic acid in here. We keep some oil for our blower in here. We got a couple more brushes. And if you got anything with pull cords on it, you always want to make sure you got plenty of extra cord. We keep a lot of cord in here. We keep a towel in here just to wipe our hands off with or whatever we may need to do. Keep our gloves here. We usually keep 3 or 4 pair in here. A little brush there. So that's pretty much it for the back of the van. It works out nice. We got everything we need in here. I'll take a minute and show y'all the front. So on the front, we got the Alphawash on the hood, of course. And we've also got our custom Alphawash tag on. And I see that our emergency flashers are on. Not sure how long those have been turned on for. Inside the van is a little bit of a mess right now, but I want to show y'all what we keep in here in the center. So the this big binder. This is our systems notebook for our technicians, and there has been a lot of hours that went into making this, and I'm not going to go all through it. I just want to give you all an example. Like on Fridays, at the end of the day, we wash the van, how to take before and after pictures, stuff like that. Pretty much everything that has to be done. If they run into any issue, they can look at this book and more than likely find their answer without having to call me, and that was kind of the point of the book. And then we keep our check sheet here, job site check sheet. And then this big container right here in the middle, we keep our marketing materials in. So our guys always do 5 rounds after each job's completed. We write in the address of where we serviced, and we put, it's like, here's an example. So we'll hand this to 10, 15 neighbors surrounding the house we just washed. And then we got these review cards right here. And these things have been awesome to us. You can scan them and take people right to our Google My Business page and leave us a review. And as you already know, 5-star reviews on Google is huge for ranking, build your company. So we got review cards. We got them all labeled just so the guys don't get them mixed up. We got business cards here. We like to leave a couple business cards with every customer. There we go. And then, let's see, we got a couple more things in here. We got some brochures. There's our brochures here. We like to give those to new prospects when we're doing estimates and things like that. A little bit of info about our company. Got some 5-star reviews on there. What services we offer, why they should choose us, things like that. And this has been huge for us. This hasn't been something that we've always done. We're just getting big into the print marketing. Super cost effective. It's one of those things that you just kind of have to stay consistent with over time, and it will pay off. And we got that basket there that we keep all of our information and stuff in for the van, and like all of our job checks and cash and stuff goes in there. We'll collect it at the end of the day. Keep our business cards in here. We got a fuel card and a company credit card and things like that. Anything the guys might need. So yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below. We're just starting this channel up. We want to bring you guys a lot of good value. Hopefully we can teach some people some things that are first getting into it. I've been doing it about 8 years and plan on doing it much longer. So let me know if you have any questions. Leave them down in the comments below. And let me know what you think about the rig. Let me know if you see any improvements that need to be made or anything like that. Catch you guys later.